Hi, I'm Marco DiBiasco, reporting from WWAR Broadcast Systems.
And I am Mar Hernandez Vasquez II, and today we're going to discuss the question of the day.
Why did Germany support the Nazi Party?
Well, at the time, Germany was in a state of crisis. The government was in shambles, money was in a state of inflation.
There was also lots of reparation costs. Something that didn't help was the failing economy. Most Germans had no jobs, while most businesses were out of business.
This went on for a while, till a man named Hitler came. He had ideas that could help Germany rise to power again. His ideas were the answer to all of Germany's problems by blaming it on a common cause, the inferior social classes at the time.
Hitler blamed the Jews for all of Germany's problems, especially losing World War I.
Eventually, almost all the population of Germany had a deep hatred for the Jews. But how did that happen, Marco?
Well, let's start off with Hitler's propaganda. Propaganda is information, ideas, or rumors deliberately spread widely to help or harm a person, group, movement, institution, or nation.
Propaganda was an important tool to win over the majority of the German public, who had not supported Hitler. It served to push forward the Nazis' radical program, which required the support or participation of broad sectors of the population.
Hitler used propaganda as a way to support his ideas. He convinced most of the German population and other fellow politicians.
Most of the propaganda was targeted against certain social groups. Some examples of the propaganda is anti-Semitism ideas like Jews being filthy and evil. They also had propaganda against themselves, but it was positive. Germans thought their Aryan race was the superior race.
After all the propaganda was put out to Germany, it was up to the people whether or not they wanted to follow Hitler. He appointed himself as Führer after the president of Germany died. He forced all military to pledge their life to him. He then targeted the German population.
Most people were forced to pledge their life to Hitler against their will. Even though this happened, 90% of the German population was supporting Hitler freely.
What was the key reason to support Hitler and the Nazi regime?
It was Hitler himself, who presented himself as a superhuman.
Hitler wasn't widely seen as a power-hungry racist, but someone putting Germans first.
I'm sure our viewers would like to know if German youth played a part in Hitler's popularity.
Yes, Martin. The Nazi Party targeted German youth as a special audience for its propaganda messages. The youth were dynamic and hopeful. They were taught in German classrooms that they were the superior race. In 1936, membership of the Hitler Youth Organization was over 5 million. And in 1939, the membership was mandatory.
It is interesting to note that most people did have issues with the government, but were happy to overlook them out of fear and repression to support Hitler.
And viewers, we're sorry to say,
but we're out of time.
Hopefully this newscast has helped you understand why the German people followed the Nazis.
So that wraps up tonight's newscast.
Tune in tomorrow when we will revisit the topic of
Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass.